Mga kababayan, hindi ba kayo nagtataka? Bakit walang impeachment na inihahain kay President Bongbong Marcos Jr.? Doon sa kanyang pulburon video. Alamin at panoorin po natin itong video hanggang sa huli.
Bakit? Siyempre, nandiyan magmumula ang impeachment. So kapag binusog rin niya ang mga congressman na siyang mag-hahain ng impeachment, yung kanyang pulboronic video, hindi po pwede maging basihan para magsampa ng impeachment. Dahil nabili na niya ang loyalty ng mga congressman. At siyempre, kung makalusot man yan, nandun na rin ang mga senatong. Kasi mga senatong, di ba, una, umaayaw sila sa AKAP. Biglang binigyan ng 5 billion, tumahimik na, tagto 200 million na AKAP. Alam niyo yung AKAP na yan, kakaiba yan kasi kongresista at senatong lang mamimigay, hindi yan pamimigay ng DSWD. Ang DSWD, AIX, ang DOLE, tupad. Pero yung AKAP talaga, mga mambabatas lang mamimigay niyan, nalabag doon sa desisyon sa kaso na hinain ko. Yung Belica versus Executive Secretary, kung saan sinabi talaga ng Korte Suprema na ang mga mambabatas wala nang pakialam matapos nila maipasa ang pangtaunang budget.
Well, Malu, this budget has been described by others, by pundits, as one of the worst budgets, one of the most corrupt. What would you say would be your reaction when this came out? Ano mga napansin mo?
Well, sa budget, I was so shocked because health and education is the #1 mandate from the Constitution, and health is because of the Universal Healthcare Law. It covers all Filipinos. So to put zero on the subsidy, I don't think that can even be vetoed. Tama yung reporter nyo, they should go back to the BICAM and settle those issues because if the allocation is zero, there is nothing to veto. So a very transactional budget. It tells you there's so many funds that are being used for purposes other than what is required by law. So from the NEP, it would show that on the second year, last year the NEP was set aside and there's a huge unprogrammed fund. Today, it's the same, but it's worse because of what they did with PhilHealth and DepEd as well as DPWH.
Malu, a lot of pundits are also saying this is a, kumbaga, quote-unquote, it's an insult to the president, no? Because as a chief executive, siya talaga yung may alam nung cash flow natin, kung saan ba dapat ilagay yung pera. All the reports go to his office, and kumbaga parang na-etchapuera yung spending plan na pinropose ni President Marcos. Another shocking thing for me was his reaction, which was not so mad. What did you make of that?
Yes, Sean, I agree with you. I mean, if you're as the chief executive officer, whenever financial statements are being made and submitted to you, you always look at the sources of fund, the revenues. Is there a shortfall? We have a 15 trillion debt. And the revenues are really very short. That's why they keep saying on the fiscal space that is needed. But here you see that there is a lot of leeway given to Congress, even to increase the. I don't know for what they increase the budget for the House and the Senate. And then there is that 340 billion insertion in DPWH. So this is not fiscal restraint, it's really greed because of the way the allocation have been made, setting aside the national expenditure program of the president and the SONA directives that were given.
And what do you make of his reaction, which was actually just yesterday and today, nakapag-react siya, sabi niya, papalitan niya. First, sinabi niya na he will do something about DepEd, but not about PhilHealth. And then today, another ambush interview, he declared that he will not be signing on December 20, that he will meticulously go through the budget line by line, which kind of gives us the idea na gagamitin niya yung veto powers niya. What do you make of the president's reaction now, just this week?
Well, I'm surprised at the reactions, no, because it's a pendulum swing from one end to the other. I take it to mean as someone who has not digested the report given to him and how far, I mean, even if you just do a variance review from the NEP to the GAB, you will see really a reprioritization made. So I don't know if he's talking to his political leaders or the political leaders are telling the president, this is what we want and this is the priorities that we want to pursue. Somewhere along the way, that was discussed during the LEDAC. And interestingly, even the macroeconomic assumptions were not taken into consideration. So, hindi ko alam kung hindi niya binabasa yung mga report niya kasi yung utterances niya, ibang-iba based dun sa documents na nakita natin.
Okay, well, Malu, part of the budget, of course, is the OVP funds. It was quite controversial also at one point. It was slashed by more than half, and now it's already at 733 million pesos. But if we also recall, may ilang senador din, di ba, who vowed to restore that budget of the OVP. What do you make of that?
Well, again, that is the impact of the political persecution done on the vice president. If you look at the extra money that is being realigned or being placed in certain agencies, in certain branches, to cut the budget of the vice president was really a political act on the part of the majority in the Senate and in the House. There was an attempt, yes, you're correct, in the Senate to bring it back to the NEP status. But again, politics reared its ugly head and decided to cut it. Still, I think the Vice President made clear whatever is given her, she will try to make use of it. And this is where you will see her willingness to bite the bullet. You cut so much on my budget, but I will still try to give what I have planned for the OVP.
Let's just lay it down on the table. We know that you're a supporter of Vice President Sara Duterte. In fact, we can see you in green. Very, very clear to us. But I want to get your thoughts on ACAP. It is one of the more controversial provisions of the budget. In-insert lang yan sa BICAM. It is getting a huge amount. Tapos inuohan na rin ng Senado nung nagkaroon sila ng 5 billion na allocation dito. But we do know it is not only ACAP that is a form of dole-out, but also AIX, which started during the time of President Duterte.
Yes.
Both, as they say, promote the culture of patronage politics, of ayuda, of dole-outs, especially on a year where it is an election year. I want to know your thoughts on both, and what does this say about, this whole budget?
Well, AIX, there's actual rules and regulations on AIX. AIX came about because of COVID. It is a post-COVID safety net. Ayuda, on the other hand, is something that was created by the House of Representatives. In fact, the transcript will bear us out where the SWD were saying, we do not know anything about that. We do not know the rules and regulations about that. We will probably consult with the Speaker of the House. So this is the second year that Ayuda will show itself in the budget. And if you take a closer look at Ayuda, Gretchen, there is no specific sum that you allocate for Ayuda is supposed to be for those who were entrepreneurs who were affected, but they later on changed that into distributing Ayuda in malls. Distributing 5,000 to 8,000 to 10,000. And since it is government project, COMELEC allowed its distribution. Imagine the impact of the distribution of those billions of pesos pre-campaign. So it is not a wise use of money. You could have placed it in TESDA and come up with a short program for the retraining and retooling of entrepreneurs. Certainly, the safety net is now becoming more and more buying voters.
Nagbabala ang isang senador tungkol sa panukalang 2025 national budget. Ikinababahala niya na posible itong magamit sa vote buying, lalo na't papalapit na ang 2025 elections. Si Troy Gomez magbabalita.
Naghayag na mariing pagtutol si Senadora Amy Marcos sa panukalang pambansang budget para sa 2025. Sa kapihan sa Senado, tinawag niya itong very bad budget, sabay diin na mas mainam na pagbutihin ang nilalaman ng budget na ayon sa ilang senador ay posibleng unconstitutional.
Hindi kailangan umabot sa reenacted budget, kaya kabulin to eh. May araw pa. Huwag na tayo muna masyadong magbiyahe at magbakasyon. Tulad ng sinabi ko, mahihirap, wala namang bakasyon, wala namang biyahe. Eh di magtiisan tayong lahat.
Umani ng reklamo mula sa ibang senador ang naturang panukala dahil sa anilay kakulangan ng transparency sa naging proseso sa Bicameral Conference Committee. Ito ay matapos tinapyasan ng pondo ang ilang mahalagang ahensya ng gobyerno. Kabilang dito ang 11.570 bilyong pisong bawat sa budget ng DepEd at 23.363 na bilyong piso sa Department of Agriculture. Ang DSWD ay di rin nakaligtas. Nasa 50 bilyong piso ang natapya sa pondo ng 4Ps na may halos 4.4 milyong benepisyaryo. Dahil dito posibleng hanggang Hunyo 2025 na lang ang sustentong makukuha ng mga pamilyang umaasa sa programang ito. Dahil dito ay naniniwala ang senadora na tila gagamitin sa vote buying sa nalalapit na eleksyon ang panukalang 2025 national budget.
Masagwa na talagang tignan. Election year, next year, ginawa na nating AKAP, ginawa na natin MAIP, yung PhilHealth, AKAP, yung 4Ps, ginawa na nating for later release lahat ng public works at nawala bigla lahat ng flagship program. Puro sa palakasan ang dating. Hindi naman maganda yon kasi talagang eleksyon na.
So, yan po mga kababayan. Ano po masasabi nyo itong sa video ito? Mag-comment lang po sa ibaba at mag-like and share at subscribe sa ating YouTube channel. Maraming salamat po.